What's up, fellas? It's a good sup, fellas. It's time for Wake Up Mintzy, presented by the fine folks of Dude Wipes and Stella Blue Coffee. We're finally back in the Chicago office. It's been a whirlwind. It's been a crazy last 24 days, but we're back. Summertime, sun, what could be better? I'm recovering from busting late on day 3 of the World Series main event 2 nights ago, but like all things, it really sucks when it happens. It super sucks the next morning when you wake up in a dark hotel room in Vegas questioning what are you doing with your life. But then when you get out of Vegas, it all gets better. A lot of stuff to get into today. Was out in Vegas for 2 weeks for World Series of Poker. Shout out Dave Port at Barstool for closing the office on the 4th of July, allowing me to get to play World Series of Poker and reenact my past every year and try to show all these fools I'm not washed up. I think I did a decent job of that on this trip, but glad to be back in the office. Before we get into all that, I want to just give a huge shout out to the Stool After Dark crew, Tate, White Boy Rick, T-Bob, Lucas, everyone involved in it. They just finished like a 44-hour stream, 42-hour, I don't know. It was really long. Finally winning a national championship in college football. Tate refused to take the Michigan job like a day ago. Ends up finally getting the Ohio State job, and they win the national title. But admire the level of dedication those guys showed, and props to them. It's great content, great stuff. So there were a lot of relieved, happy people. Tate looked like a beat-down dog leaving the office, man. Almost 2 days straight. Said he slept like 3 or 4 hours total. Got to give him some respect and give him some love for that. Anyway, getting back into the Vegas thing, we're going to be joined by Tyler Moody here in a second. Man, I had a shot in that damn main. Really want to say thank you to all the stoolies and everyone that showed so much love over the last few days. My social media just blew up completely on day 3 when I got hot. I'll just go back to starting the main event on this recap. Day 1, I had a really tough table. I played on Saturday, the last day 1. I had like a Brazilian pro, an Australian pro, an Italian that had 3 bracelets, and then this cash game player, this young kid from Houma, Louisiana. We had like a Louisiana versus the world table. So it was like 2 Louisianans against 7 foreigners at this table. But ultimately, you start with 60,000. I bagged like 55,500. It really wasn't too eventful. I just played tight and re-raised a lot. And ultimately, didn't have like a ton of great spots to chip up. I was pretty card dead. But I was happy with it because the thing with the World Series main, it's like the freaking U.S. Open in golf. It's just a war of attrition. It tests you in ways that you wouldn't possibly believe. 2-hour levels. I mean, there are people that are a ton better in poker than me that are way more aggressive that they just can't be patient enough. And so much of it is waiting it out and giving yourself a chance. So, bagged 55,500 on that Saturday. Monday, got the Poker Go featured table. And so I was on the main featured table. And then I went really, really card dead, and everybody just made fun of me a lot because I folded a bunch. But Tyler Moody joining us. What's up, Mr. Moody?
Yeah, and speaking of that table, we have to address this, man. So I'm gonna let it play real quick.
Worried about
after the WSOP.
depending on
course,
poker.
tons of live
You
stream.
gotta have something
And
else.
look at this. Mintz under the gun finds pocket aces in the small blinds.
Donnie, I gotta go. This is a blunder, huge blunder here.
Not even going to try to make something happen off the
2000?
tight image.
That's just a little inexperience.
Freaking
as some
quick.
people have noted some of the tight folds from Mintzy thus far.
Freaking
like
quick
ace-9
showing us.
suited.
I've got a moment in this thing. Okay, so there's a moment in the video right at the end. So, okay,
Just
Moody
hitting
just
the mark.
played this AI video.
So
You
far
see the ace
has
spades
just been
queen, the
folding,
guy who had ace
deep
spades
to
queen that
40%,
called
so he's played
Firestone.
40% of hands, which
Yep.
is among the lowest at the table.
The
So-
video said I folded ace of
Does anyone
spades,
want
ace
to
of
understand
diamonds.
what
How could there be
means?
two
It
aces of
means
spades in the same
voluntarily
hand?
put
Moody, it
chips
can't
in the
happen.
pot.
That's right.
So, all these false allegations. Go ahead.
What
Hit
was
me with it.
amazing to me is how many people fell for it. I mean, what made it so believable was that they pieced together some of the audio. I thought that was incredible what Quiggs did, taking other audio from other portions of the tournament and splicing it in there. It was one of the better dupes that I've seen in a while. You got to give Quiggs a ton of credit. That was incredible. I didn't get fooled because I was watching you live. I knew that you didn't fold pocket aces. I know you would never do that.
I mean,
but man, that was a genius by Quiggs.
yeah, I'm going to address this right now. Look, I was playing a little tight on the feature table. and people are like, all these people were mad at me for folding. This is the freaking World Series main event. We're playing a 10K freaking buy-in. I had a short to medium stack. I'm not going to bluff and like punt my chips off to try to oppress some stoolies on a live stream when I'm playing a damn 10K buy-in. This is a different tournament than any other freaking tournament in the world. And my thing I was preaching the whole time, survive and thrive. And the tournament structure doesn't catch up to the actual chips till day 3. All you can do on day 1 or day 2, I mean, you want to get chips, but the most important thing is freaking survive. You got to give yourself a damn chance. And so I caught all this shit for playing tight on the live stream, and I had to hear it from everywhere. And then that Quiggs video, and you got to give Quiggs credit for trolling me. I got 30 texts everywhere I go in the poker world like, Mintz, how tight are you folding aces? How the hell you think I would fold pocket aces in the World Series main event? I mean, I'm near that stupid. You got to be out of your freaking minds. But I heard it everywhere I went. And credit to Quiggs. They're doing crazy stuff with AI these days. But, man, I heard about this shit every freaking where I went, Moody. I mean, I was getting texts from the table, like, what is wrong with you? I mean, people will believe anything. But
even last night in the Poker Go chat, you've been eliminated for, a couple of days now. There were still people in the Poker Go chat that thought that you had folded pocket aces. I mean, that just goes to show nobody did their due diligence. And there are probably thousands of people that are never going to know that was fake Mintz. And they're going to live their life thinking that you're a man that would fold pocket aces. How's that?
Well, they're going to live a false life. I will say, credit to Quiggs. Troll was unbelievable. Great. And Quiggs is the best in the world at what he does. I mean, literally the best. I mean, he's... Mm-hmm. Everything he does, obviously he's a big part of the advisors, but shout out Quiggs. He can make people believe anything, and nobody trolls harder in this entire company than Quiggs. And that's saying something because we got a lot of trolls in this office and part of Barstool. But Quiggs is, and I'm one of his favorite targets. And look, I had to address that everywhere. I did not fold 2 aces in the freaking main event, period, end of story. I did fold a lot, though, so I can understand somebody. And then you got the Barstool gambling graphic saying I folded 51 consecutive hands, and then the WSOP Twitter accounts retweeting it, trolling me. I folded 13 straight, not 51.
I watched every bit of it. I only saw one hand that I thought maybe you should have been more aggressive with, the ace 9 of spades. But that's the only one. You didn't really have anything to open with. I mean, you didn't have many hands. That was the only one that I was like, maybe he should have opened there. But I don't even think the flop would have hit you. So it ended up being a good move.
Yeah, well, regardless, I mean, I wish I could have put on a better show at the TV table. I'm not going to say that. But ultimately, I feel like my strategy paid off. Because the most I had I got up to 100K on day 2. We got moved off the feature table. I ended up only putting 45K in a bag. So at the end of day 2, I have 18 big blinds going to 2,500, and I'm catching all this crap. And then I came out moody, and I said it on the video the other night after day 2. I'm like, I'm proud of myself that I have a chance on day 3 with the way this tournament's gone. And I gave myself a shot. There's a lot to be said for that. And, dude, I came out on day 3 hot, man. I only had 18 big blinds to start, and I had a big pot where I got all in with queens against queen 10 on a jack 9-4 flop. He was down to a king or 8. I held. And then I kind of got it going. I got it up to like 100. That doubled me up. And then I got it up to 100, 110K. And then, man, this is a dream main event hand, Moody. You just can't make up this spot I had. And I showed the video of it. So gets folded late position. Guy makes it. Before the queens double up, I'd gotten rejams in with 7s and ace 10 off and ace queen. So I'd gotten some shoves through. So guy opens 5,500 at 2,500, I believe. I look down at the ace of spades. This time I really did have aces, boys, not the Quiggs version. I look down at ace of spades, ace of diamonds, and I make it 15K on the button. Guy in the big blind short puts his last 23K in. Original raiser has 80K and or 70-something K and just sticks it in front of me, and I snap. Original raiser has 2 queens. Big blind has queen jack. I mean, you can't have a better spot.
Perfect.
So we hold, and then I ran my 45 up to I look up and I've got 180 at the end of the first level. I'm like, all right, boys, let's freaking dance. It's time to dance in the main. And I was pumped. And then had a good Next couple levels, my peak was 245 after I made a full house of King Jack. And went to dinner, had like 212K, going to 4K. It was interesting, though, because we're getting kind of near the money at this point. It was 9,700 people paid like top 1461, I believe. And it felt like, I was saying this at dinner, I had 212K going to 2K, 4K. It felt like I had $1 million, but I still only had actually it was going to 5K, so I had like 42 blinds. But I'd been so short the whole tournament, it felt like I had $1 million chips. And then after dinner, that first level, one time I got caught re-raising with King Jack off and got somebody 4-bet re-raise me and I had to fold, so I leaked like 30, but whatever. I mean, I liked it. I was strategy-wise, I was playing tighter and 3-betting instead of just calling pre-flop because I had a good image to where they were respecting it. So I was just going ahead and 3-betting King Jack and 7s and Ace-10 and all my playable hands, taking the lead and just taking these pots down, or they'd call and I'd take it down on the flop, And I got a 10 high bluff through 2. Right after I doubled up with aces, I raised 10-8 of spades. Big blind good player calls. Jack 6-6 rainbow. He check calls my 8K. Turn ace of spades. He checks. I fired 19,500 because I was like, man, this dude's probably got some weak-ass jack out the big blind. And he folded. So I do bluff. I'm not that big a net to everybody giving me all this crap. I got one through. Did get one through. And then ultimately, the table got real wild. I mean, super wild, dude. I mean, it was nuts. And we had this very, very nice older gentleman from Georgia who cracked me up. It was a doctor. Moody, one of the greatest quotes I've ever heard at the poker table, and I've heard a lot of them. He's like, I'm 61 years old. He goes, but I say all the time, you're only as old as the woman rubbing you. He's like, and I was like, well, how old's your girlfriend? How old's your girlfriend? I go, how old's your girlfriend? He goes, oh, she's 36, but I've been with her since she was 19. I was like, what? Dude's like, was 44. He's like, yeah, I took her out to Vegas when she was underage, and she was just like gambling in the casino before she was even 21.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, brother.
I mean, wow. So I got to say, I respected him as a character. He played like shit, though. And he was the spot at the table, and he'd had like 300K, and then he was getting worked because we were at a tough table, and it's the World Series main. And so he just said, I'm over it. Just started jamming all in all the time. And so he was the spot at the table, and then this was the penultimate key hand. We're like 200, we're probably 250 from the money, and I got 155K to start the hand, Moody. And Stooley's in chat, feel free to ask stuff because I know we're getting a little technical with poker, but it's a freaking World Series main. I'm going to talk about it. Open ace, queen of clubs to 11K out of mid position. He crams 129, big out the big blind. I think about it for 5 minutes, but I'd seen this dude shove all in jamming and show king jack off, king nine of diamonds, and fives already. And so I thought about it for 5 minutes, and I would have 25K left if I called and lost. But I was like, look, you're not guaranteed cashing the money if you fold. You have like 25 big blinds. Like, you're nowhere near guaranteed cashing. Ace Queen of Clubs has this guy's range crushed after he showed king nine, king jack, fives. You know he's shoving wide. And I thought about it. And I was like, my instincts kept saying, this is the sucker at the table. You got to get these chips so other people don't. And this is also the World Series main event. I mean, 15K cash would be big, but having a shot at 10 million is a hell of a lot bigger. The 15K wouldn't change my life. So ultimately, I was like, can't be a bitch. Stick with your read. Call. He's got sixes, which makes me feel like, look how wide he's shoving. I mean, I hate he has a pair. But, I mean, look how wide he's shoving. But, you know, like, it's not like sixes is that good a hand, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
flipping at that point.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't love it. I was hoping I was hoping to see ace 10 or king queen, you know. So, anyway, he's got sixes. I got ace queen of clubs. There's friggin' 300K in the pot or whatever. Flop comes queen 9-7. And I'm just like, F yes. Well, turn comes 8, and I'm kind of like just watching for 6, but not really following the straight. And the river comes to 10, and I'm not really thinking anything of it. And he goes, straight! Yes! And it was like a knife just like stabbed me through the heart. Just like, And I just got up, and I felt like I was like walking into walls around the casino. I was just like, just crushed. Late day 3 of the main. It was like 11 p.m. I was just guts me.
Disgusting.
Yeah, but I will say, I mean, I was hurt, but I mean, it was, like you said though, Moody, it was a coin flip when the money went in. I mean, it was a disgusting run out, but it was a 50-50 deal. It wasn't like he put it in and I had him killed that he sucked out. I mean, it was a 50-50 deal. Just a very brutal sequence. Very brutal. And I'm still hurt about it 2 days later. I'm hurt. Because I would have had $350K in the main. I mean, I would have been really rolling if I win that pot. Really rolling. 200 money. Like guaranteed to cash, basically. Shot to really do it. But ultimately, I'm glad I pulled the trigger, even though I lost. I said, you know what? You're not playing, despite this AI video showed me full 2 aces, I'm playing to win the damn tournament. I trusted my read. I went with it. And it was just unfortunate what happened. And I was down to 25K. I doubled up King Jack to ace 3. And I had it back up to like 47. And I think I made a bad shove here. It's kind of been bothering me the last couple days. Blinds were about to go up to 3K, 6K. And I shoved ace 3 of diamonds out of like late position. Not button or cutoff. But in the main, I think I could have folded and knitted it a little longer. And somebody woke up ace king. And that ace 3, I think, suited. I mean, I had less than 10 blinds, so I get what I'm trying to steal. You know, you when you get under 10, you got to do it. But I think I still should have waited on that one. And that one's actually
how long was that after your ace queen hand? Was it?
Oh, soon. I mean, like eight
Do you think there was that little bit of tilt? You know how when you watch your chips,
absolutely, there was that little bit of tilt. Oh, no doubt. Yeah. No, I think I was seeing red. I definitely think I was seeing red. But I wish I had that back. I mean, granted, I was under 10 blinds. I'm probably going to bust anyway, but I still should have just grinded and waited it out longer. So I'm mad about that one. So ultimately, or I keep saying ultimately, I'm getting annoying. So basically, I busted like 1,650th or something, 1,670th out of 9,700. I will say, though, moral victory was,
reality.
Well, the day 3 effort justified me playing tight on day 2. Everybody was giving me crap, but I gave myself a shot to run it up, and then I did it. And my social media went nuts. Loved the support I got. I felt very, very loved. We'll get into the other fun part. Nobody had the rail I had. Rochelle Ryan and her friend, the adult film stars, showed up at the table, and that was pretty cool. She got there right after I got knocked off the featured table. I was a little bummed about that. But that was a whole nuts deal, too, with the Vegas thing. Right when I got to Vegas, I showed my story that I was in Vegas. Rochelle Ryan hits me up like, let's go to dinner. And she hit me up. She'll tell you that, too. So I had a Sunday brunch date with one of the most famous adult film stars in the world. It was awesome. And that we went on the Sunday at a Maya. We went to the spot in the Cosmo. And Moody, I had to do this. Our boy, you go back with him, too. Our boy Rob Del Morte. Used to be the golf segment on Mix It Up with Mintz and Moody back in the day. So Rob's out in Vegas visiting me, and I had this idea. And I was like, Rob, I'm going to plant you at the bar at Amaya, the brunch spot, and just have you be like a fan saying hello to try to impress Rochelle. So I walk in with Rochelle to this brunch, and I walk by, and Rob's like, Mintzy, what are you doing here? I'm a huge Barstool fan. Oh, man, what's your name? He's like, I'm Rob from Nashville. I was like, oh, I love coming to Nashville. He's like, do you mind taking a picture? Gets Rochelle Rod to take this picture. And Rochelle Rod looks at me with wide eyes and goes, Mintzy, you're more famous than I am. I was like, oh, this is too good. And I was like, this is too good.
Rochelle, so he threw you the alley-oop. Did you get the slam dunk is the question.
Well, we had a 2-hour great brunch. I had a great time. I can't say, we had a great time. I mean, what everybody's obviously asking did not happen, but we had a great time. And the next day, her and her friend came out and supported me on the rail, So, dude, they were buzzing in the poker world because, all the poker world remembers the 300-pound version of me where porn stars were not coming to the rail to support me. I was like, the times have changed, boys. The times have changed. People were losing it. She had, like, her outfit. She was definitely showing some skin. I kept looking up at the rail being like, it was distracting. I mean, it was very distracting. I was trying to distract the other people. I was distracted. There's no getting around it. I also want to say shout out to Ethan Camps, who the Act sent out. Played the main, hung out a ton. Got to give Ethan credit. He was like playing 5-cent, 10-cent home games, made day 2 of the main with the starting stack. I mean, that's a big deal. Never been to Vegas, never played a big tournament. His day 2 didn't go very well, but I mean, I'd say it was a W just getting to day 2. This is a freaking World Series main.
Tough, man.
I mean, dude, I've been doing this for 15 years. That's the first time he's done that and how nervous he had to be. He lost King's Ace, Queen, Ace River to get knocked out, and I think there were some tears and some emotion, but I feel his pain because that was a big opportunity, but it was great hanging out with him.
It seemed like he put a lot of pressure on himself. Felt like he had the entire yak, on his shoulders essentially. But I mean, he grinded it out, did a good job, some good content out of it. Tip of the cap to Ethan for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Look, I mean, I don't know what was expected. Him making day 2, I thought was a big win. I mean, dude's never played like a real tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about going from freaking home games and basements to the main. I mean, I don't know. I thought he did a good job, and I enjoyed kicking it with him. That was a lot of fun. Overall, look, Moody, I'm not going to bullshit you, dude. I was freaking hurt 2 nights ago. And I'll tell you what I was really hurt was waking up yesterday morning in a dark hotel room in Vegas. I was listening to I tweet out song links sometimes if that's like fitting my mood of life. I was listening to the sounds of the Simon and Garfunkel Sounds of Silence on repeat. It was bluesy, dude. It was not good. But I texted Kyle Enright, who books our fights because I flew out for Barstool Classic. I was just like, man, please get me the first available fight the hell out of here. And I got back here last night. Then, life goes on. Sun comes up. And, I don't do this for a living anymore, so that makes it hurt a lot less. And I got a lot of love coming back in the Barstool office today for the effort, which made me feel good. And I'm encouraged about my poker game right now. And also, I made day 2 of the mini main event, the 1K in cash, and I freaking had that viral hand where I lost aces to 8s all in pre when it comes ace, queen 8, 10-8. Dude makes quads on the river. I mean, at least it was viral. Cool. Yeah, I didn't have a ton of chips. That one, I was lucky to have aces. But what are you going to do? But either way, I felt like the effort was good. Definitely showed Destroyer could still play some poker. I had a lot of fun. Shout out to Poker Go, too. Moody got to do the commentary of the World Series main feature table with Joey Ingram and Remco. I thought that was a cool experience on the 4th of July. And we got a lot of good feedback. People liked this, except for, dude, this pro Tyler Phillips, who's good. He came at us on Twitter just so hard. I just thought it was ridiculous. Dude, people just take themselves too seriously. I didn't say anything negative about it. He just went off on all the commentators. Like, dude.
Well, people view themselves differently than others view them. So whenever anything gets said that doesn't match their view, they'll lash out sometimes. You know what I mean? And I think that was kind of the situation that happened. And you didn't say anything bad.
I said nothing negative about him at all. He took a horrible beat. He was on tilt, and I don't blame him for that. But I don't know. I guess I have a different view of all that. Because if I took myself seriously, I'd be 6 feet under right now. I mean, all the stuff I get said about me on a day-to-day basis. If you don't take that stuff with a grain, if I didn't take that stuff with a grain of salt, how would I even be alive? So I just brush it off and just have thick skin. But I don't know. Other people,
you do catch a lot of shit. I mean, people. You make one mistake, brother, and you're catching some shit.
And speaking of that, I got rained on Twitter yesterday. I tweeted out, and I wasn't lying. I was like, I'm just cooked from Omaha and Vegas. I was on the road like 22 out of 24 days. And I was just like, I'm just cooked from Omaha and Vegas. It's time to go home and regroup. Boy, I had not a lot of sympathy for watching college baseball and playing poker and being tired in the community. But I will say, I responded. I said, look, I know I'm getting trolled as I always am, but the World Series main is grueling. Freaking 3 12-hour days against the best players in the world, dude. It's like middle war. It's literally like the U.S. Open in golf, but for poker. It's so grueling, dude. So I was wiped out. I wasn't lying. But we're back. We're feeling recharged now. And, I'm hating watching Twitter. Everywhere I go is these World Series main updates, and I can't even stomach looking at it because I was so close to the money. And, I really thought that every 7-year thing we were talking about was going to come to fruition.
Would you rather bust early on day one or bubble?
Bubble. I thought it made a real effort. When I busted early day one last year before the dinner break, that was embarrassing as hell, dude. That was tough. Not even making dinner day one with Big Cat a piece of my action. Moody, I had to carry that last year early bust all year. And like this year, I get back in the office and people are like basically cheering, saying like warrior effort, representing the company well. I mean, even though I bubbled, like there was a real effort, and that's a lot to be proud of. So not even close. I mean, that day one before dinner, because the thing with the World Series, man, if you don't make day two, you're never even in the tournament. You're literally like, might as well have not even played. So no doubt. This year's effort, this is the farthest I've gone in it in 7 years. So no shame in this effort. Hold my head high. Excited about poker still. It's just so hard after the main because everything builds up the main. Main event in poker is like Super Bowl in football, Masters in golf. Nobody really cares about any other tournaments nationally other than the main. And so, I'm going to go play World Series of Poker in Cherokee, North Carolina next month. But, what, 2% as many people care about it as cared about the main? That may be generous. Maybe.
Yeah. Chad, I see y'all out there. Listen, shout out to everybody that's in the chat today. I'm going to read some of these dements. Have you ever played with at the same table as Kasuf?
No, I have not. They were talking a lot about that.
Dude.
Poker Go's catching a lot of crap for putting him on the stream, and I kind of agree with the people giving him crap. Dude, he takes he just whiny, takes forever. I don't like it.
And it wasn't just that. He was, what was her name? Vanessa Kate. He was just in her ear the entire time. And here's the thing. I don't blame Poker Go because they don't necessarily know how he's going to act once he gets on
Well, he's acted like that before, though.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can know he's going to be that bad. I mean, he was the most annoying person I've ever watched play poker. And I actually kind of like Martin Cabral. I know a lot of people hate him, hate his antics. I think he's kind of fun for poker. This dude,
the game needs villains. No, the game needs villains. And like Cabral, he's really loud though. Like it's like if you're around his table, But the game, it's kind of like Cabral and poker's like the Tennessee of college baseball. Like it's good for the game to have somebody.
That's fair. And he's good, right? And I'll tell you what, to Kasuf's credit, he made some incredible plays. That one call that he had was elite. Got to give him some credit. Mintzy, I'm not familiar with Rochelle Ryan's work. Can you tell me more about it?
You don't have to Google or look very hard. I feel like there's plenty of.
I clicked on her Twitter and I'm just glad I wasn't hanging out with my parents or something.
So another funny story about the Rochelle Ryan thing. I called my mom immediately after the brunch, and because my mom's like retired attorney, very buttoned up, and she always hears about all these scandals. Her friends are always calling her about all the crap I'm in at Barstool. So I called her. And I was like, Mom, I just want to warn you. You're going to hear about this because I just went to brunch with a very famous woman. And she's like, oh, what does she do? I was like, well, she's an adult film star. And she was like, where are your standards, son? And I was just like, I just wanted to tell you and warn you because you're going to hear about it. She's like, well, thanks for warning me about it.
That's definitely an interesting conversation right there.
Yeah. Also, other fun stuff. Okay, go ahead and get the chat, but I got other fun stuff.
Go ahead.
So went to the only time, didn't party any in Vegas, played a bunch of tournaments, did the Poker Go commentary. Only thing I went to party-wise, 4th of July Marquee Day Club party at Cosmo. Moody. Hot damn. Man. It was a real serious scene. I had to do the Poker Go night commentary, so I didn't get crazy or nothing. Man, these women are showing some skin out there these days. I can tell you that.
Well, especially at a pool party. I mean, you can
on the 4th.
Yeah, on the 4th. There's going to be a lot of people in Vegas, ready to show up and show out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, no, it was a wild scene out there. Some other fun stuff. I got to go eat at Peter Luger's for the first time. That's the famous Brooklyn steakhouse. It was founded in '87. They opened a new one in Vegas this year. And that was awesome. Man, when I do the Vegas food scene, I do a lot of the off-strip Asian stuff. I did a Viva La Food video that'll be coming out of Lotus of Siam that Ethan and I went to, which is a real famous Thai spot. And then my buddy Jared Ingalls and I, dude, we just worked the all-you-can-eat sushi places. Dude, we ate 4 all-you-can-eat sushi meals. And I had a moment this morning, Moody, because I did exercise a little bit in Vegas, but not enough with this marathon coming up. I was really dreading this weigh-in this morning. I was just like, I was mentally prepared for like a 5 to 7 pound gain. Gained like 2 pounds in 2 weeks. Thrilled. W. Huge W. Was in Vegas.
What'd you check in at?
222.6.
I
was right at
sounds
220
pretty
when
damn
I
good,
left.
man.
Oh, thrilled. I called Stu Feiner last night, and I was like, I'm prepared for 225 to 230. And when it was 222.6, I was like, I did watch what I ate out there for the most part, but I still ate ice cream 3 or 4 times. I went nuts at Peter Luger's. And and the all-you-can-eat sushi spots, we lushed it up. But, sushi's not that bad for you. So, but
there's a lot worse. What's your favorite meal in Vegas?
Man, the best meal I had in Vegas, I always love going to Lotus Siam. But, man, I found this new all-you-can-eat sushi spot, 888 Roboto and Sushi. Moody, it was $48. Serving caviar, uni, Wagyu beef. It was on a level I ain't never seen for $48. It was crazy. I mean, on Yelp, it's got 4.8 stars and 2,000 reviews. I've never even seen that. So that was the Peter Luger's was unbelievable though. That was phenomenal too. I mean, never got to go there and we did it all. We had the bacon and the steak and crab cakes, and I ate some ridiculous ice cream sundae. That was amazing. I mean, it was a fun trip, man. I really looking back on it. The only regret I have, I was said I was going to exercise a lot and only did a couple times in 2 weeks, but somehow I guess I watched it enough. And you walk a lot of steps in Vegas, so. Only gained like 2.5 pounds. So, I mean, that'll be gone in like 2 days. So
don't you gain calories doing like mental exercises too? Like the stress of it. I mean, that's gotta kind of work the metabolism a little bit. I think maybe all that ties together a little bit. I'm not positive.
Maybe so, but like I said, I'm just thrilled because I felt like I was 3 to 5 pounds better today on that weigh-in than I expected. Now, we come back here. Today's July the 10th. Moody, this marathon's October the 12th. I'm 3 months and 2 days out. It's number one priority for the next 3 months. I mean, this damn thing ain't gonna run itself. I can tell you that. And I mean, I'd say on a 1 to a 10 scale, I'm at about 6 or 7 as far as the shape I'm in. And I need to be at about a 9 by the time I run that. So I got 3 months though. I think I can do it.
When was the last time you just crushed a run?
I ran Vegas. I did a couple 5Ks, but that was it. Last crush, I ran a 10K right before I went to Vegas. But I'm gonna start back. I'm gonna run a 5K today. I'm gonna try to do a 10K this weekend, and then what I'm gonna do is every week I'm gonna do one long run where I go up a couple miles. So it's gonna be a 10K this weekend. And it's gonna be an 8-miler next week, and then a 10-miler the week after it. That's what I'm thinking. And just Stu Feiner did the marathon in 2017 in New York. He's telling me I got to do a 23-miler before it. So I thought 20 was what I needed to get to. He's saying 23. And I got to do that.
Lie to you, brother. That sounds so brutal. Like there's no way I could go get close to 20 miles. I don't think I could walk 20 miles right now.
Man, I can't do 20 miles right now either, but give it 2 months, I think I can. But whatever, man. It's the road to 200. I started the year 258. I'm like 222 right now. I mean, we're like we're almost right at 2/3 of the way there, right below it. So it's time to finish it. And in my head, I'm thinking, I know this is a strong goal, but I think 215 by August 1st is possible if I really turn it on the next 3 weeks, because I kind of did eat a little bad in Vegas, and now I'm flipping my body. So we're going to do that. And then I'm back in Chicago the whole next month. Dude, that road wore me out. I know there's no sympathy in that, and I know I got rained on for saying it. But I'm here. Like, next trip I got planned is like Panic in Indy, like August 8th and 9th. And then I'm trying to go to North Carolina for the Cherokee Circuit and for my niece's 5th birthday. But that's in August too. But I'm here. And also, big fun thing this weekend, I'm going out there after work today. Windy City Smokeout, one of the biggest weekends in Chicago, Country Music and Barbecue Festival. I'm not like as well versed on the mainstream country, but man, they got some big time acts. People are excited about it. Tonight's like Bailey Zimmerman, but I guess Coetzel, Kane Brown, Megan Maroney Saturday night. She's getting real big. John Party. I don't know. I don't know who any of these people are, but people are excited about it.
I feel like in today's age, if you've heard one country song, you've kind of heard them all. They all kind of sound popish and the same now. It feels like country music as we once knew it is a little bit dead. And now you just kind of get this like pop country, and I don't know, it doesn't do it the same way for me. It's not Garth Brooks, it's not Alan Jackson, it's not the good stuff. It's
Yeah, I feel the same way, but people are excited about it, and so this will be the one time a year I see it. So maybe I'll expand my horizons.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I'll tell you what I'm
that might be
excited
good.
about is the barbecue element of it. And that's what I'm gonna do. I've been doing some Viva La Food videos, but a lot of our friends from Hogs for the Calls are here. That's how I know all these people. Is a lot of the Hogs people do Windy City Smokeout, Hoodoo Brown from Connecticut, Wright's Barbecue from Arkansas, Green Street Smoked Meats from up here in Chicago, who are all on our Hogs team, are all out there. So I'm gonna go eat some barbecue and do some content with them. So I'm excited. Shout out to Dante the Don, got me a media pass all weekend. And then the other thing I'm looking at this weekend, serious NOLA Funk concert Saturday night, Salt Shed. Dumpster Funk, which is always my favorite NOLA band, Ivan Neville, JJ Gray and Mofro, and Trombone Shorty. Banger.
Legend. Trombone Shorty.
Banger. So Saturday night, that Saturday night's definitely on my itinerary. And so that's kind of looking at, and then Moody fish 3-night run next weekend at United Center up here. I'm not going to go to all three, but I'll go to one or two. I can't do the 3-night fish. I don't love them that much, but I'll do at least one, if not two. And this is the best time of year to be in Chicago. Look, I say it all the time. You suffer for 7 months to get the good summer months. So I'm looking forward to enjoying my summer here.
I will give you credit on one thing. You don't ever you have everything planned out for the most part, and you never make a trip without doubling up on something. Like you hit the golf tournament whenever you went out to Omaha, same
And
thing
Vegas.
in Vegas. And every time you were just talking about going and playing the Cherokee Maine and seeing your niece, there is always double function to every single trip that you make. I will give you credit for that. It's never just, hey, I'm going to do this one thing. You find a way to double up on it. And
that's a founding
you
principle of the Mintzy Tour. And that goes back to when I played poker for a living, and I'd figure out where panic shows were near poker tournaments. That's how that all started. It's like if you can do a couple things, and then hey, shout out to Riggs and Barstool Classic. Had a blast in Omaha, and then in Vegas, TPC. They did it at TPC Summerlin. Beautiful course out there. And Vegas, it wasn't like 110 out there. I mean, it was hot, but it never got to like crazy Vegas hot on that trip. Like I've seen far worse. But I had a blast out there at TPC Summerlin. Love hanging out with the Stoolies. I'm hoping to do one more Classic this summer. I'll see if I get selected. But really enjoyed the Barstool Classic. Great event, and loved kicking it with the Stoolies. But, overall, so lucky to get to do the summers in Vegas. And, I'm going to keep doing them. As long as my backers continue to have $10K to get me to play the World Series Maine, I will give it hell every single year. And one of them who, we're not going to mention names, but one of them's friends with Moody as well. And he called me after he lost. He said, well, if it makes you feel better, as long as I'm alive, you're going to be in this thing. I said, that does make me feel better.
I think he's doing just fine for himself too. I think everything's A-okay right there.
Yeah. So all that's good. Well, Moody, what's going on in your world, man? I saw you called some big fights Saturday night, huh?
Yeah, I've had a ton of fights lately. Got a chance to do a WBC boxing championship first time. Obviously, I've done tons of MMA fights. We've had a ton of our fighters go to the UFC. I've done a little bit of boxing, but got a chance to call Shamar Canal's fight. Ultimately won the WBC lightweight title. He is Devin Haney's protege. He's signed to Devin Haney. This is the same title that Devin Haney won in 2019 that kind of vaulted him to the next level. And there's a chance that I just called a fight for the next rising star in boxing. So it's pretty cool for me to get a chance to be part of that. I mean, just good things happening. Obviously, I love the fight game. It's almost love fighting as much as I do baseball. They're right there neck and neck. But I've had some really cool things going on. I got a lot of fights this summer, and things are good. Hit a couple home run parlays while you were gone. Hit a 3-legger. Been doing a pretty good job of hitting at least one every day. So I don't completely take an L. But the last 2 days I have taken some L's. But that's part of it. It's volatile. I know it's going to be that way. But I've got 4 3-leg home run parlays this year, and I kind of follow some of these other home run dudes. I don't think any of them have 4 on the season.
Dude, 4 is great season, and we're at the halfway point. We're at the All-Star break.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm gonna hit a 4-legger tonight. So why not? Let's forget about the threes. I'm gonna knock a 4 out of the park tonight, and we're gonna bag something big.
Yeah, follow at Moody Mac TV on Twitter. Always firing these parlays on the DraftKings Sportsbook, who we're proud partners of here. Moving forward from here, like summer, it's always College World Series into World Series of Poker, and that gets me into this like July part. Now I get back, I start looking ahead to football a little bit. I'm going to start cranking out some research in the next week or two because I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. You want to beat college football, you beat it in August. You beat it by doing the research, especially in this transfer portal era where you got to follow. There's so many moving parts that if you don't study it, you don't know what the hell's going on at the beginning of the year. And last year I put in a lot of work in August and I had a great college football season and I noticed it. And I'm going to do the same thing in this year. So we're gonna be cranking up the football previews. Hey, fantasy football coming as well, coming real soon.
Getting close. It's such a weird thing for me because I'm usually, look, to my credit, I'm usually playing for fantasy baseball championships, and so like I'm still locked in on that. So fantasy football always just jumps on me so quick. I have a tough time doing both, like kind of flipping between those two modes. I'm going to try and do a better job this season of preparing for football. I had a great year last year. I mean, dude, I'm like plus 50, 60 games against the spread the last 2 years, whatever it is, 45, I don't know. But I mean, so I'm going to try and turn that up a notch as well this year.
I'll tell you one thing we're going to do for fall here on Wake Up Mintzy is we're going to get that Wake Up Mintzy account going with our picks on it and do some Wake Up Mintzy parlays with DraftKings, and we're going to turn that up. We're going to try to blow up that account and use that for picks with DraftKings. I think that's going to be a really fun.
I love the touchdown parlays. That's one of my favorite things. I guess I'm a home run guy. I love the scoring, so I love the touchdown parlays. Hit a few of those last year as well, but I'm going to really put in some extra work and try and be prepared for that because I think that's one of the things people love to do. They love the touchdown parlays.
Oh yeah,
it gets people excited, gets the ladies going. You know what I mean? So we're going to try and score a few more touchdowns on that.
Let's give the people what they want. That's what we're all about. And then shout out Dude Wipes, cleaning up all our messes, Amazon, Target, Walmart, all over the World Wide Web. Amazing product. Still drinking Stella Blue coffee at like 4:40 p.m. in the afternoon. Thank you, Barstool Big Cat. And shout out to Barstool After Dark. Right? Stella Blue crushed it with that. And that was good stuff.
Did they finally did they win the national
championship?
They did.
They won it like 40 minutes. They won it like 30 minutes before we came on the air.
Okay.
I mean, it was like a 43-hour stream, dude. Incredible.
Man, credit to Tate. I know some people give him shit. That dude puts in the work. He is legitimately out there grinding, trying to make stuff happen. I hope he's getting the respect for the amount of time he's putting in as he deserves.
And I also want to credit to Lucas. Yeah, and credit to the production team for that too. Lucas and the white boy Rick grinding social, and Ryan. I mean Lucas. So there was a funny moment on the stream. Tate got offered the Michigan job after San Diego State, and he said no because it was Michigan, and Lucas lost his shit. He was so mad because that ended up keeping him there like an extra 24 hours probably. And T-Bob had a big time, and go ahead.
Speaking of T-Bob, somebody was asking earlier about if you were going to address some allegations made by T-Bob on Mostly Sports. I don't know what they're talking about. Maybe you do.
I don't know. I didn't see the Mostly Sports allegations, but one thing that did come up was, did you see T-Bob, that tweet resurfaced?
Yeah, I did see
that. That's pretty
from
cool. T-Bob texted me that tweet. He goes, man, this is unreal. 11 and a half years ago when I met T-Bob, I tweeted out like I met T-Bob and he was awesome, and he invited me on his New Orleans radio show. And that was cool that came up on the internet to where we are now. Freaking amazing.
Circle of life, man. Circle of life.
Full circle of life. That is true, my friends. Well, what happened? You're all pumped up.
I just hit a little fantasy home run to start the evening.
There we go. Let's get hot, Moody. Well,
unfortunately, it was Jordan Westberg who I gave out for the early game. He decided to homer in the late game, but can't hit him.
You're all around it. You're all around it.
All around it. We're there.
Yeah, but like I said, getting off, I just want to reiterate this. I got the amount of support I got the last few days, blew my mind. I mean, it was crazy. My social media went absolutely nuts the last 48, 72 hours. And I just want to say thanks to all the Stoolies for the support. And, everyone that trolled me after the Quigs AI folding the Aces video, thank y'all to y'all too as well, because the engagement And even if I'm getting rained on, you're part of the journey. So, the whole thing with it is at least people care one way or the other. I mean, obviously very polarizing for sure, but people have opinions. And I got a lot of support from this office too, man. I walked in today and got a lot of love for that main run, and that really made me feel good. We got a close-knit community up here in the Barstool Chicago office, and I really do appreciate it. Well, we're going to get out of here. We're going to be back next Tuesday. Thank you all for joining. Thank you to the chat. Thank you to all the Stoolies that supported me out in Vegas. And I'm headed to the Windy City. If you want to hang out with me this weekend, Windy City Smokeout. I'm headed out there in the next couple hours. Maybe learn a thing or two about country music. Eat some world-class barbecue. Have a day, fellas.